Third eye, getting out of the matrix. Free your mind, it's time for the great awakening. Baba Ausar, he ain't playing. Speaking truth to power, let's get this liberation. Separate the real from the fake ones. Tell it like it is, no time for the faking. Conscious Black Business Network, true greatness. Third eye, getting out of the matrix.
Peace, family, peace. Shem Hotep. Welcome to the night, the third eye, getting out of the matrix. And tonight, we're going to have a fantastic show. We're going to be talking about Haiti, as they say. But at the same time, you know, the holidays is coming up. Nobody's going to stop nobody from getting gifts because that's what y'all do. So if you're going to do that, go buy black to the stores, go to your go everywhere you can possibly and buy black. Donate to Conscious Black Business Network. That's right. Put us underneath your tree. Conscious Business. Go ahead, son. What it is there? Conscious Black Business Network.
ConsciousBlackBusiness.com.
Okay, yeah. Donate something to us. We got a tree. Here you go. But check this out. We're gonna be talking about Haiti tonight. And we're gonna talk about some our heroes and some sheroes, probably, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And we got this brother right here. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. He's the author of a couple of books. He will tell you about it.
Yeah, how you doing, everybody? My name is Frantz Derencourt Jr. I'm the author. Write books about Haiti.
That's right. That's right.
You want me to keep going?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So originally I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And I just realized I have a couple of kids. I have a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old. So we went to the library one day looking for like children's books about Haiti. You know how sometimes they have history books like MLK or
Right.
Malcolm X or, you know, the founding fathers of America, you know,
Right.
so to speak. So I started getting into Haiti with my kids, trying to tell them the stories of, you know, the first Black Republic and all the heroes that are in Haiti. There are plenty to write about. So I said, okay, well, let's go to the library and see if we could find something on Haiti.
Right.
So I go with my 8-year-old at the time, and we're looking at all the books, and it's like, wait a minute, it's all these great books about all these different people. I mean, you have Harriet Tubman, you have Frederick Douglass, and people like that, which is great. We picked up those books. But when I wanted to teach them about the Haitian Revolution and the stories and the founders of the first Black Republic, I couldn't find anything. So I just started writing stories for him,
Right.
and telling him stories at night. And then it just kind of like evolved from there. And, you know, I came out with this book. And the name of the book is called Haiti, the First Black Republic. And it did very well. In fact, I wish I would have had some here today, but it's a good problem because I'm all sold out for the holidays. It's holiday season. So,
right. But if you look up the brother name,
yeah, I'm all over social media though. Like,
but tell them how you can get your books. How about that?
All right, you could go to my website. I'm on Amazon and stuff like that. But the best place to get the book is from my website, which is www.thoroughbredbooks.com. That's THOROBRED books.com. And there you'll see my 2 titles, Haiti, the First Black Republic, and Makandal, the Black Messiah.
Exactly. So what do you mean by the first Black Republic?
Pretty much what I mean by that is it was the first time in history, Haiti, what happened down there after the revolution, and they had the war with the French, and they pretty much beat the French. you know, in the war and kicked them out of
So who
the
was
island.
who was the French? I mean, who was fighting with the French? Who like some?
It was the Africans, that the enslaved Africans at the time. So I mean, it's a long story. I could start from the beginning.
Well, I mean, check. How about this? This is what I'm talking about. The French.
Yes.
Who was a known person of the French that was fighting the Haitians?
Okay. Well, the main guy was Napoleon.
That's very important.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Napoleon was known as a very strong.
Absolutely.
That's what
He was an emperor.
Exactly.
You know, he was the main guy. He was the first consul.
Mhm.
Interesting enough, though, Napoleon actually never stepped foot in Haiti.
Okay.
He sent his brother-in-law, Charles Leclerc, who was one of his top generals. He was with him everywhere. He was with him in Africa and different other places. So when Napoleon took power in France, they had already lost Haiti, so to speak. Even though Haiti was still a colony of France, they had no control because Toussaint Louverture was running everything down there.
Exactly.
So when Napoleon came back into power, not come back into power. When he came into power in France, he wanted to re-subjugate the Africans and the colony.
Right. So see, I wanted him to say that because of one reason. This man was powerful, have a powerful army, but he lost to a small country with a big heart, with a big spirit, with a big soul. You see what I'm saying? And with people who wanted freedom and justice. And that's why they won that war against this so-called, I'm not gonna even call him an emperor. No, sir, I dare not.
He was a tyrant.
Yes, exactly.
You know, he was a tyrant, and he was very racist at the same time.
At the same time. And another thing is about our children. Our children must learn who our sheroes and heroes is. You see what I'm saying? Our history, people always wonder why we always gotta say this is black and that is black, because we don't have it like that. White folks don't have to say nothing is white, because white is all around. If you're gonna learn history, they don't have to call it white history or European history. It's out there for them to grab. We and some other people are the only people who's got to really dig for our own history. And within our children, we must indoctrinate our children with our history. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that, because of the simple fact the European or anybody that the history that we learn is indoctrinated in us, and we never see ourselves. Absolutely. You see, when a little just a few years ago or now, you get to see yourself on TV. You see what I'm saying? I think they even put you in Star Wars one time. Right. You see what I'm saying? So we have to press the issue with our children and demand that these books come out, because once upon a time you had to dig so deep just for your own history, like I did when I was coming up. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. Y'all got it a lot better today than we had it then. You see what I'm saying? But still today, as we have it, people don't take advantage of it, because guess what? It's not important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's another thing. I wanted to teach the kids the truth as early as possible. You know what I mean? So that, because they're not going to learn any of this stuff in school. Right. You know, they're not going to teach them about Haiti and, you know, the slave revolts, successful slave revolts in school, because that's not part of the system, and they don't want them to know how powerful they could be. Right. So when you say successful, I gotta bring these up to the because we might have little children, everybody looking. What you mean by that? All right. Well, there were successful slave revolts, but Haiti was the only one that resulted a slave revolt that resulted in creating a Black republic, so to speak. Like in the I mean, they were the second democracy in the Western Hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? The second. The USA was the first, and the Haiti was the second. So that's powerful, right? You know, like there are slave revolts that happen. Like maybe like someone would say like Amistad was a successful slave revolt because it resulted in those Africans that were coming across in that boat. They got their freedom, and they were eventually sent back to Africa. That was successful, but on the scale of it depends on what scale of success you're looking at. I don't want to say Haiti was the only successful slave revolt, but it was the first one that resulted in a Black republic.
Exactly. And that's what you mean by success.
Yes,
because they became totally free.
Absolutely.
And then they had to pay for it.
They fought for their freedom and they won.
Right.
You know, so and every Black person was free on that country, on that island.
Exactly.
You know, and there were a lot of people say the Jamaican Maroons, for instance, there were big battles in Jamaica between the enslaved Africans and the British.
What's Maroon? Is that a little island or something?
Yeah. Now the Maroons are pretty much runaway slaves, right?
Exactly.
So they run off from the plantation, and most of the times they will hide up in the mountains, or somewhere like far where the Europeans, they wouldn't even attempt to go up there to try.
They were freedom fighters.
They were freedom fighters, and the Jamaican Maroons were some of the fiercest out of all of them. And the British, it got so bad that the British was like, look, just here, take that part of land. They signed a treaty with the Maroons, and in fact, if you go to some parts of Jamaica today, you'll still see some of their Maroon villages. So I mean, there were revolts happening all across wherever there was slavery happening.
Okay, but now, like, say for instance, once again, we always heard about Toussaint Overton, or like you have on your head there, Bookman. You see what I'm saying? But talk about this man.
Which one?
Mackendal. Yes.
Yeah, Mackendal was my favorite.
Yes.
And the reason why, and the thing is, a lot of people may not know about Mackendal.
Exactly.
And when I made my first book, Haiti, the First Black Republic, I struggled to. I knew I wanted to do a series because I couldn't fit everything in one book. One of the reasons why I wanted to make it easily consumable, kind of like illustrated pictures, so that a child could read it. It's because it's quick. You know, you could get through the main parts of the story in like 5 to 10 minutes. And a lot of people, when they learn about Haiti, you know, they only have these big yellow page looking books, you know, and it's kind of intimidating. So people don't read it. They don't pick it up. So I wanted something a little bit more consumable. So I couldn't tell the whole story in that one book. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to make a series of books. And the next book after my initial one, I was actually going to write a book on Toussaint Louverture. But I wanted people to know, like, that revolution didn't start with him. You know, Toussaint was a huge figure, of course, but he wasn't, in my opinion, he wasn't the most important. And it started from hundreds of years ago, you know, and my personal favorite, the story that moved me, was Mackendal. And Mackendal was enslaved. He was captured by slave traders in his village in Congo, in Africa. And he was a bright kid. Like, his father was a village chief, and he was next in line to lead his people. I mean, he could already read. He was Muslim, right? He could read Arabic, write Arabic. He was a doctor at the age of 12, pretty much a medicine man, so to speak. Like, he knew the healing effects of hundreds of plants all across the land, and he played instruments. He was carving stuff. I mean, he was just a child genius.
He was an Imhotep in Haiti.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the thing about this brother that I really fell in love with, you know, because now, like I was telling you earlier when we was talking over there, I didn't even know about this brother existed until I did a show on Haiti myself. And then I came across this wonderful brother, like you said, with all these skills. And he was a doctor, because he could take these herbs and even heal a person, or he could take a person's life. Yes. And the most beautiful part about it, that he would come down from the mountains and also help the brothers and sisters that needed help, you know, giving them some medicine to heal the wounds or whatever torture or whatever was going on with them or illness they had. But at the same time, he would give them some medicine for the master.
Absolutely.
And the medicine he gave for the master was to get rid of him, kill him, exterminate, liquidate. Well, what kind of words you want to use? And that's warfare.
Absolutely.
See, they was in a war. You must understand, they was in a war for their life. Their life was online. You see what I'm saying? So, and I was like, wow, why didn't anybody talk about this brother?
They don't want you to know about him. That's why.
Exactly.
You know?
And now, like the sister said, what's the sister?
Baina Bello.
Yes, she was saying that a lot of people know about Toussaint Overton because of some fact he really failed.
Yeah.
You see, because he didn't accomplish what he, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
And it's not a failure, but at the same time,
he took them as far as he can take them.
Right.
You know, and that's Ballina, how Ballina said, like, Toussaint took them to a point, and then he couldn't take them any further, and that's when Jean-Jacques Dessalines came in.
Dessalines,
and then took it
over.
The top.
Right. But
So,
you don't hear about Dessalines as much as Toussaint.
No,
see.
they don't want you to know
exactly.
about Dessalines.
Right. That's psychological warfare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
These are the real revolutionaries. Now, Toussaint Louverture, he was a genius. He was a brilliant mind, and I mean, he's at one of the most brilliant generals in history. Period.
And one thing about Toussaint that I kind of admired at the same time, but you know, he had slaves himself.
Yeah.
You see,
I mean, everyone had. I'm not gonna say everyone had slaves, but a lot of people knock him for having slaves. But he was what you call a affranchi.
What do that mean?
Affranchi was like there were certain blacks in colonial times that weren't slaves. Like they either bought their freedom or they were free.
He was a free man.
He was a free man. He was a slave. He was a slave. But his owner granted him his freedom after a while.
Right.
And then he had land, so he had people working his land. You know, he had slaves working the land.
But still, through all of that, he came through.
He did come through.
Because see, once you can see yourself, you see what I'm saying? Once you say what?
No, I thought.
Okay. No, but once you can see yourself and say, well, this is wrong, that's when I really loved the man.
Yes.
Because see, he was like almost given the silver spoon.
Yes, he was pretty much for the most part, because his master was one of the more benevolent masters. In fact, when the whole revolution, the initial slave revolts happened in 1791, he actually saved his master's plantation. You know, he made sure that his old master got away. He fled to like America or something like that. And then that's when he fully immersed himself in the revolution. So he made sure that his folks that took care of him were good. And that was the same kind of theme that followed Toussaint, that some people say that was a weakness for him, because he had I'm not going to say sympathy for whites, but he kept some whites around him, you know, like in his government.
Well, it's like this. I mean, if these white folks had your life under control and they some type of way gave you an opportunity, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That same opportunity, maybe that's what he felt he should give to them. Like, you know, hey, look, you can leave, but you better leave now because it's going down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Toussaint was one of those guys where it's like, not all white people are evil. You know what I'm saying? Like I need a couple of these guys to help me do what I'm trying to accomplish.
And you know what?
And Dessalines was the complete opposite.
Yes.
You know, he didn't trust
anybody. But you need both. And you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the thing about it, I tell. One brother told me, matter of fact, it was like 3 weeks ago. We was talking. He said, "Man, you getting easy. You getting weak." That's what he said. He said, "Because you say all white folks ain't evil." I said, "I never thought all white folks was evil." If you, I'm talking about now. I'm gonna talk about the slave trade we had in America. Okay, just to show you, still slave trade, no difference. Still slaves. If you ever go to the country and you will see that is one house, then there's another house 6 miles, 8 miles down the road. Now, if you're a slave that's escaping, you must make it north. That's a long distance. You must have some kind of contact within that distance for you to get some food, some healing, some rest to carry on your journey.
Absolutely.
Now, if there wasn't good white folks around at that time, we wouldn't have made that journey as good. And that's why he said it, because I was talking about John Brown. I said John Brown was my hero for real. But he was a white man. I said, I don't care. I said, I don't care if he was a white man. This white man died for his cause. And I don't know if it was the one child, 2 children that died with him. So with that, in respect to what you're talking about, Toussaint Over, I understand.
Yeah, but the ironic thing about Toussaint was that he had a lot of white folks around him, but as soon as they found an opportunity to turn against him, they did. And they sold him up the river. You know what I mean? So Dessalines was there to witness all of that.
Oh, okay, right.
And then once he saw that, he's like, "Oh, I'm really not messing with y'all." You know what I mean?
But see, then you go back to what I love, my favorite quote from Mom Mabley about the snake. you knew he was a snake.
He's gonna bite
So when he
you.
bites you, right? You
Don't
see
be
what I'm saying?
surprised when he bites you.
Exactly, exactly. And you know, Dessalines, him and his wife,
Marie Claire Rose, Dessalines, yeah.
right. Say her name again.
Marie Claire Rose.
Right. Sister was strong too.
Oh man,
right.
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
she was amazing. In fact, she's one of the sisters that I'm going to write about too. She's gonna have her own book.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women
Right.
that were, in fact, Toussaint's army. At one point, 1/3 of his army was women.
Right.
You know, women fighters were huge contributors to the Haitian Revolution.
Right. I seen on some footage on the women learning battle skills and also with the knife, everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because if you dare, you dare.
They wanted to be free too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. you in the midst of it.
They didn't want to just sit around and see all the guys do the work. You know, they're like, you know what? I'm capable. I'm hungry. I'm passionate. I want my freedom. You know, so I'm gonna go in and fight for it too. I don't want to just sit around. So, yeah, they were huge in Haiti.
Exactly. And what I loved about, because they did kill his sister, right?
Whose sister?
Dessalines.
No, actually. Dessalines' wife?
Yes.
No, they didn't kill her.
They didn't kill her?
No, she was actually they killed Dessalines.
Right.
And the person who was conspired to kill Dessalines was Alexander Pétion. Right. And he was a mulatto. And the mulattoes kind of ran the south of Haiti. The blacks kind of ran the north of Haiti. So on Dessalines, the reason they killed him was because the Haitian state took control of all of the land titles, because most of everyone that owned the land was either dead, the French, or they went back to France, or they expatriated. So the mulattoes, their fathers were French, right? So they felt like that land belonged to them. So when Dessalines said, okay, well, if this land belongs to you, you have to produce land titles so that I can see, and then we'll take care of it at that point. But they didn't have it, because most of the times the fathers didn't give it to them. You know what I mean? Like they looked at they a lot of times the fathers didn't recognize them. So that's one of the main reasons why they assassinated Dessalines. So once that happened, and his wife was there, they actually, you know, Pétion put her on like a pension, pretty much like a small pension. Yeah, put her up somewhere, but she didn't want it. She didn't take it. She kind of like lived the rest of her life kind of like secluded and, you know, trying to help, you know, people. But she has an amazing story. She's the reason why Haitians drink that soup. Have you ever heard of soup jumu?
No, I haven't. No.
Soup jumu it's actually a French soup that the French, the white French would eat during colonial times, during celebrations and stuff. But the slaves, the Africans, weren't allowed to eat the soup.
Is that right?
So when we won the war and Haiti was declared the first Black republic, I mean, you have to understand, like, the African army, they were poor. They didn't have anything, you know what I mean? So in order to celebrate, it was Dessalines' wife that made that soup jumu soup for the whole country pretty much. And they all celebrated their freedom with that soup. so that's why. So to this day,
say we can't eat it, but we eating it now.
Eating it now. You know what I mean? And, and that's one of the reasons why Haitians drink that soup. It's called soup jumu. It's like a pumpkin kind of soup. It's like a pumpkin you find in Haiti. And they eat that January 1st every year.
Oh, for real? That's good.
Yeah, and that's because of Dessalines' wife.
I heard that. So how about that guy you got on your hat up there?
Boukman. All right. Well, first let me get through.
Go ahead.
The Makandal.
Okay.
I want to finish up with him. So Makandal. So they captured him in Congo. He came over on the passage, the middle passage, and he came to the colony Saint-Domingue. So once he was on the colony, he was already special. Right, he was already. People saw him and knew that there was something different about him. He not just his healing abilities, also his faith, the way he will pick up the language. He picked up French in a couple of months. He learned how to read. In fact, he was Muslim, I said, right? But he was taught to read a Bible by a priest that was there in secret, because they're not supposed to do that stuff. So he learned French, and he just became like one of those guys that's on the plantation that you knew that something special about that guy. And I was always interested in why he marooned, because not every African ran to the mountains. A lot of them tried to, and a lot of them did, but not everyone. So I wanted to see like what inspired him, what revolutionized him. There's a couple of stories, but the story that I put in the book was that he fell in love with the slave master's concubine, right? That worked in the house, the master's house. And once the master found out, ordered him to 50 lashes with a bullwhip, which is pretty much a death sentence. And then while he was receiving his punishment, he escaped and fled to the mountains. The thing about, and he became a maroon. So once he got to the mountains, the Maroons were separated. A lot of the Maroons separate based off of their language, what part they were from in Africa. So they weren't all together, right? So Mackandal was very instrumental in getting the Maroons to work as one unit, because the Maroons were up there. They weren't necessarily thinking about ending slavery. They felt like I'm not saying all the Maroons, but they felt like, okay, we're away from the plantations. We're doing our own thing now. But they weren't necessarily like, okay, we got to go back and save our brothers and sisters on the plantation. Mackandal kind of brought that mentality to them. And he said, you know what, this place is ours. Like he prophesied that the blacks were going to take over the whole colony. Right. And he put that in a message to the Maroons that made them all follow him and follow his movement. And that's one of the reasons why I loved Mackandal, because he was able to unite the black folks. That like the ones that were kind of like comfortable, so to speak, not that they were comfortable in the mountains, but they were comfortable not being a slave on the plantation. And Mackandal came and inspired them to say, you know what, there's something bigger here for us. And that's why I respect him. And then that's when he started his plantation raids. I mean, his plantation raids are legendary. I mean, he'll go down, he'll free a whole bunch of enslaved Africans and steal food and stuff like that. And then when he came up with his bigger plan to take over the whole island, he wanted to kill every white person on that island. Not just every white person, but every snitch. Because there were a lot of enslaved blacks that were pretty much, anytime somebody would try to run away or something, they'll go and run and tell the master. He didn't like them either. He would poison them also. So Mackandal's main conspiracy was he wanted to poison, because he couldn't get help from the mulattoes that were free, that had access to money, guns and stuff like that. He approached them. He's like, look, I need resources to win this revolution. And they wouldn't help him. So he said, you know what, I'm going to go and do what I know how to do. I'm going to make this poison, and I'm going to poison all the water wells. I'm going to poison all the animals, the livestock, and I'm going to get my network of people, because he had a network of house slaves, network of field slaves, networks of free people, and he would provide them and teach them how to make the poison to put in the masses' food. And he ended up, his run was probably like for about 6 to 7 years. Yeah, and he ended up probably killing about 6,000 to 8,000 people. Exactly.
And another thing that, I mean, he was a handicap, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't get into that either. He only had one arm. Some people say it was his hand or his whole arm. Right. And there's a debate of how he lost that arm, but some say it was in a sugar refining accident, which happens all the time. Like, the way that they'll make the sugarcane juice that makes the sugar, they have to put the cane stalks in this huge machine that will press down to squeeze the juice out of the sugar cane. And frequently they'll get their hands stuck in there. And so they said that's how Mackandal did it, or as punishment.
But the end result, he had one arm.
The end result, he had one arm, and he still did it. Right. So yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. But and then after Mackandal, I would have to do Boukman.
Hold on 1 second. Everybody, you want to call in, please call in at 410-989-5557. 410-989-5557. Call in and ask the brother a question. If you want to know anything about Haiti, he can answer anything.
I
All
can
right,
try.
go ahead. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then so now Makandal, eventually he gets captured. A snitch snitched on him. Well, I want to say snitched on him, but Makandal was a huge problem in the colony. So the slave masters had to figure out how to stop it, because it got to a point where they wouldn't eat because so many of them were being poisoned. So they did their research or whatever. They found one of his accomplices and they tortured her to get information, and she gave it up, and that's pretty much how Makandal, his revolution ended. So it was 30 years after Makandal, and a cool story about Makandal ended on this was, once they burned him at the stake, right? So they whenever they get a huge figure like that, they'll take him into town square and they'll invite people from plantations all over the colony to see, because the whole island knew who Makandal was.
He was a Hogarth also, right?
A Hogarth,
a voodoo priest.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. He was a Hogarth. Yeah, absolutely. He was a voodoo priest. And so once he was at the stake, they tied him up, and then before they burned him, he said that he'll come back as a mosquito, to torture the French again.
Wow.
And then before they burned him, he jumped out, but they caught him, and they said they burned him again. Some people said that he escaped into the mountains again, but either way, he was never seen again. But the interesting thing about that is 33 years later, in the Haitian Revolution, one of the contributing factors was the spread of yellow fever. And what spread that yellow fever was mosquitoes. Right. So they say Makandal came back and fulfilled his prophecy.
Hey, look, at 33 years too, the 33 is the number himself.
Absolutely.
It's heavy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very much so.
Yeah, wow.
So it's a great story. That's why I wrote the book. That's the book that you have.
Yes.
And that's one of my top sellers also. And the next book I have coming out is Bookman. That's the hat that I have on right now, and the shirt. This is actually the voodoo ceremony that happened right before.
Okay, so now before we get into that, because we just said voodoo twice.
Yes.
And people have a misunderstanding or miseducation or demonized vision when we talk about voodoo.
Yes.
Explain this. Let's make a light come to this voodoo.
Voodoo.
You don't have to. You can't touch on it a lot, but just
yeah. I mean, voodoo. It's the reason why it's demonized is because that's what white people do. They demonize things that's not theirs. Especially if it's black. Voodoo is pretty much a way that the Africans were connecting with their ancestors. It's a mix. Some people say there's two schools of thought here. I talk to different people. Some different people say different things. And you would there are people that would say no, voodoo is this, and some people say no, voodoo is that. But I always hear myself two different things. Some say it came from Africa. It's funny how people believe that when Christianity came through Africa, that's the first time black people had spirituality. Exactly, what I mean? When that's ridiculous. Like black people in Africa, they've had spirituality from the beginning of time.
Exactly.
So that doesn't make any sense. And some people would say that voodoo was a blend of that spirituality that came from Africa and a blend of Christianity. And it started in Haiti. Now, the reason why it's like that is because the enslaved Africans, they blended Christianity into their voodoo so that the slave masters wouldn't know what they were doing. Exactly. Exactly. Because they had a lot of voodoo ceremonies that the slave masters would let them have. Right. They thought that they would
even
just
turn on the saints white.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's the same type of thing, like how Christianity has a lot of different saints, and the same thing with voodoo. They have a lot of different people that they use in their spirituality and their practice.
Deity. But check. No question, they had to come from Africa, because most of the people from Haiti is directly from Africa, which is also like Ifa. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So, and then when we talk about voodoo, we'll talk about for the words to listen to your ears, is a religion, a very spiritual religion that they go through. Is a very, and I always say, if you look at voodoo practice the right way, I mean, like spiritual way, and then you go down to the South and you look at churches in the South and you cut the volume down, both of them will be practicing voodoo.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you said it right there. Like, it's a religion. Like, and the thing that people like try to say, oh man, like, oh, someone put a voodoo spell on you or something. Like, I mean, people have used religion to commit atrocities all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, Christianity. You know, if you hold up,
it spells in the Bible. No, it spells in the Bible. If your wife had cheated on you, take a grain of grain of wheat or something like that, and let her eat it. And if she have cheated upon you, she would choke upon it. I mean, it's just something that was out there.
I mean, not only that. I mean, they use Christianity as a basis to slaughter millions of people and steal land and stuff like that all across the world.
Exactly.
Okay, someone uses voodoo to put a spell on somebody, you know, or whatever. But the thing is, it's like I've never seen a voodoo crusade killing people, stealing land, and doing all the atrocities that's associated with Christianity.
Because when you're dealing with voodoo, you're dealing with nature. If you're dealing with nature, that's all you're dealing with. You do not supposed to give something that you don't want a person to give you.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So it's spiritual. And what the what Europeans have done and other people have done, Hollywood had done, is demonized it, because when you say voodoo, I can guarantee you think about pins, needles, and dolls.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's where we at with that. You know what I'm saying? But to hide something as powerful as voodoo, I say Haiti would not have came out of the slavery without voodoo. They had to give the Christianity back for them to get free.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much the subject of my next book. You know, and I'm celebrating and really putting a different light. I feel my whole purpose with what I'm doing is to change the narrative. You know, like the first thing that people think about when they hear Haiti usually is nothing very positive. You know, it's hurricanes, it's death, it's destruction, it's poor, it's poverty. But they never think about Haiti as, oh, that was the first successful slave revolt. That was there were kings in Haiti. Haiti was at one time the richest island in the world. You know, so I'm trying to change that narrative so that when people hear Haiti, they completely think about something different.
Did Haiti have gold?
Did Haiti have gold?
Did Haiti have gold?
Absolutely. Haiti had gold. I mean, that's why the Spanish were there. That's why Christopher Columbus went there. You know,
did they take the gold from Haiti?
Oh my God, they left Haiti dry from gold, you know. So
that's right.
In fact, that's how the French came in, because the Spanish conquistadors with Columbus and all them, they came in and they took all the gold. Right. And once all the gold was gone, they kind of like left it, because they had gone over to like Mexico and South America, and they kind of like left Haiti alone a little bit. So the French came swooping in, and they had like a little battle. They had a treaty where they would split the island, you know, between Spanish and French. That's why you have, you know, Dominican Republic now and Haiti on one side and Dominican Republic on the other. So,
and that's a whole, and that in itself is a clique, because you got the people that Dominican Republic that say that they are not black or they're not Haitian. I mean, not all of them. You see what I'm saying? But
they
a divided country between the two.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a shame, but it's based off of history. You know, it's like the Dominicans, and you know, I have friends that are Dominican. Let me preface that, but
no, I know some Dominicans myself.
They prefer.
I sound like I got a white buddy now.
From what I know, is that they embrace more the European part of their heritage. And Haiti embraces more the African part.
Exactly.
Of their heritage.
Yeah, right.
And it's as simple as that. You know, in fact, and they have a gripe with Haiti. I mean, Dominican Republic, they got their freedom from Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't from Spain.
Right.
So they a republic. They became free because they were under Haitian rule.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that part of the history that doesn't sit well with them, and it's a whole thing.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
By what?
They got their freedom from.
Well, at one time, first Toussaint Louverture had conquered the Spanish side of the island. So the island was split in two in 1697. It was called the Treaty of Riswick. The Spanish had 2/3 of the island, which is the eastern side. The French had the western side, 1/3, which is Haiti. So they had two separate type of economies. Haiti, I might refer to Haiti as Saint Domingue because that's the colonial name of it, and Santo Domingo. So Saint Domingue was the sugar producer. They had plantations. The other side was more like livestock kind of. They didn't have like a huge plantation type style over there. So the plantation style of slavery was very brutal, right? And they required a lot of Africans. At one point, they were importing 40,000 Africans per year to feed that machine, right? So, and the slavery system was very, very brutal on that side. It wasn't as brutal on the Spanish side. So that kind of like once the revolution happened, Toussaint Louverture comes into power. He knew that Spain, that France was going to try to come and reinvade the island. So he knew that if it was only that side, that they would come from the Spanish side to try to get away into Haiti. So that left the island insecure. So what Toussaint wanted to do was control the whole island so that he can fortify the whole island in case the Europeans came coming back. Because Toussaint had beat not just the French, the Spanish, and the British, right? So he wanted to fortify the whole island. So he went over like I think it was 1800, and he sent the Spanish didn't have a whole army over there. So he sent like 10,000 soldiers over there. They quickly took over the capital. I don't think one shot was fired, and then they pretty much at that point, Santo Domingo became part of Saint Domingue, the French side, and the whole island was run by Toussaint Louverture.
I have a question. That's some research. I have a question for you. I'm not very clear on it, but I won't say what I've read. But there's some talk about Dutch having some involvement in the Haitian Revolution. Could you do you have any understanding of that?
The Dutch. There was a time when, the whole expedition, when Napoleon sent the expedition to Saint Domingue, which is Haiti at the time, it was an expedition that was not just French. It was other countries that it was sort of like an allied force, so to speak. So part of that was I don't know if it was the Dutch. I might not know too much. I think I know what you're talking about, but I think there was Polish. Was it Polish?
Yeah, that's what it was.
No, I'll tell you what I'm saying. I've read some places that the Dutch actually fought with on the side of Saint Domingue.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna get to. Yeah, but they came over with Napoleon.
Okay.
That's how they got there. And then once they got there and they realized that, wait a minute, these people are fighting for their freedom and these people want to re-enslave them. Then they went over on the black side. They went over on the African side and started fighting against the French expedition. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. I know it's the Polish was part of that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the Dutch, but I know the Dutch had some type of thing.
Yeah. So you read the Polish?
Assisted. Yeah, they assisted Haiti. Yeah. They assisted. They fought on the side of the Africans.
Okay. I was really surprised.
In fact, it's funny that you mentioned that because a lot of people demonize Dessalines as like butchering like all the white folks, but really he only butchered the French. The Polish, the Polish, they were fine. Even though when Dessalines, when he took power, he said, you know what, everybody on the island is black. Even the white folks, even the Polish. Like you were black. And Dessalines made a haven for black folks. He said anywhere where you're oppressed or enslaved, if you make it to our shores, you're instantly free.
That's right. He said, your foot touch this land.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You know, so he was and Dessalines had plans. You know, he wanted not just Haiti to be free, but he wanted Jamaica, Cuba, like everywhere. In fact, during Toussaint Louverture times, Toussaint had the same type of designs of freeing the whole Caribbean and even South America, to the point where in some of the treaties that Toussaint Louverture made with General Maitland, who was who controlled Jamaica, and I forget the guy's name in the U.S. ambassador. I forget his name, but it was under John Adams. They made a treaty with Toussaint that they would not, that the Haitians would not invade South America, and that the Haitians would not invade Jamaica. You know, and Toussaint, he signed the treaty because he wanted to trade with those places. I know, I understand. But he eventually, you know, he wanted everyone to be free, right? And then Dessalines kind of adopted that as well. Yeah, it's definitely a great.
I laughed at that because that reminded me of Mike Tyson when he was fighting. I never heard this in nobody's contract. They told Mike he cannot be aggressive until the third round.
the fights weren't lasting long enough.
I'm telling you now, how you do a person like that? You see what I'm saying? But no, time is really flying. Anybody want to call in and ask a question? You can call in at 410-989-5557. And brother, if you want to get the brother's book, you can go to
thoroughbredbooks.com. THOROBRED books.com.
All right. I think the show has been really interesting because if you don't know a thing, you see what I'm saying? I always say you should at least peep into it.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And it can whet your appetite. And like I say, Haiti for so long, to me personally, have been like I say, demonized, stepped upon, only because they wanted the freedom. Yeah. They were stepped upon because now the thing that really got me was that I think it was the French that told them, okay, y'all beat the war, but I want money for every slave that I would have had, could have had.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's some
Yeah, that was messed up, and that's kind of like what happened with Haiti's economy. Like, it never had a chance to grow.
And then the United States of America signed it along with that.
Yes, absolutely. You see, because the problem, what happened after Dessalines, this happened. All right, so we won the war. Now it's the Haitian Republic, the Free Republic of Haiti. So now they're trying to get up on their feet. So what happens is that all this turmoil happens, but eventually in 1825, about 20 years after the revolution, you have the mulattoes are kind of like in power now. That Jean-Pierre Boyer, this Boyer was in power. So the French come in and they say, you know what? We're not going to recognize you. The United States is not going to recognize you. Britain is not going to recognize you. Okay, unless you pay us this money. And the thing is, they really needed to be recognized because these countries were embargoing them, so they could not trade. So they agreed to sign the indemnity.
Hold on 1 second, caller. I'm gonna be with you 1 second. 1 second, caller. Hold on.
All right. So they agreed to sign this indemnity, and the indemnity pretty much was reverse reparations. Is what it's kind of like what I like to call it, which was 160 million francs. Equivalent today is like $20 billion. Wow. That they had to pay for their freedom. And eventually it was lowered to like 90 million francs or something like that. But that still was a tough debt to pay.
Yes,
even though they completely paid it off.
So that's why I would say always look at what happened to that person to get them like that. This country was rich, was doing good. And caller, please state your name and where you calling from, caller. State your name and where you calling from, caller. Hello. Last 47308. Please state your name and where you calling from. Might be. Okay. Well, thank you for listening.
Yeah. So that really kind of like stunted Haiti's growth, so to speak.
Exactly right.
And then when the Americans invaded and occupied Haiti from 1915 to 1934, they took over Haiti's custom houses and the treasury and everything, and they had acquired that debt. And once they went over to Haiti, they wanted to make sure that Haiti paid that debt. So they occupied Haiti, and they took control of their custom houses, all the money that was coming in, and pretty much like 80% of whatever Haiti was making was going to paying the Americans back first.
You know what I'm saying? And then they laugh at you once they cripple you. You understand what I'm saying? But check this out. What type of minerals or anything that Haiti have now, if you know of?
None that I know of, man. Haiti is pretty.
Because some people say, you heard some people say Haiti got diamonds down there. That's why they want to go down there. They got gold down there. That's why they want to go down there and doing all this stuff. I mean, I really can't answer.
I really can't answer that question
Okay.
either, man. I mean, I really don't know.
Right,
you know,
right.
I mean, I know the folks are down there though. They live.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Haiti 2 weeks ago, and it's not like there's no, you know, people down there that's doing something. Like you say, what's this guy doing here? You know, like you see people that stick out. But I mean, Haiti's greatest commodity right now is its people.
Okay.
You know, and I mean,
and the Clintons didn't do Haiti no good.
They've been. I was just about to get to that. You know, like they stripped Haiti so bare. You know that the people are just kind of like there. You know, they want to do something. They're industrious. They're making things happen down there. I mean, you go down to Haiti, no one's complaining. You know what I mean? Everyone is working. Everyone's hustling. Everyone's doing what they got to do. That's one thing about the people that I love down there.
Good.
You know, like you will never see anyone feeling sorry for themselves or asking for a handout. It's a great group of people, great people. That's our people,
right?
You know, and that's just how we are. We're very resilient. You know, I hate using that word resilient sometimes, but I mean, we get hit down, and then we eventually had to rebuild, and we do it. But I mean, you know, you just wish that we had more,
right? Because
you know?
on one incident I seen down there was very powerful. This brother, they just moved away from everything and just started making a city, out of scrap.
They do it all the time.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you go to Haiti and the mountaintops, you see all types of houses. They don't have no electricity, no running water, but they find a place to live.
Living,
they living over there.
So,
So Haiti will rise again.
Of course,
you know, it's gonna, when it comes down to it, Haiti is gonna be there all the way till the end, and they're gonna win, and it's on us to help Haiti. It's on us to understand Haiti,
right?
You know, and what they're going through and what's happened to them, and they still here after all of that. That lets me know that we're not going anywhere.
Exactly. My point was always, I like to. I heard it that. It's like a guy kicking a guy in the leg, and once he walks away, he laughs at the guy because he's limping. You see, so that's how Haiti is to me. You see, Haiti was a powerful, wanting to do for themselves, wanting to be free for themselves, but at the same time, nobody else wanted Haiti to be free, so they crippled Haiti.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? They took the resources, they stripped them of everything, and now they laugh at them, and they don't help them. You understand what I'm saying?
They do the opposite of help them. They cripple them more. You know what I mean? Like with the whole pig situation and the subsidized rice. And I mean, it's funny, like when these events happen, like earthquakes and hurricanes and stuff like that, is tragic. But like the first thing people like to do is like, okay, let me collect all these shoes and let me do this, let me do that, and they send these stuff to Haiti. But like, for instance, the last hurricane that hit and devastated the south part of Haiti, we collected all these shoes and clothes and stuff like that to send down to Haiti. But the thing is, Haiti, they have that stuff. You know what I mean? Like in a different part of the country. And a lot of people, even though they feel like they're doing good by sending down shoes and different types of things, it kind of hurts them a little bit more. And the reason why I say that is because they can buy that stuff from a different part of the country, and then that money starts circulating in the country. You know what I mean?
So good. So check this out. So if we wanted to send something to Haiti, what do Haiti really need? Check.
What does Haiti really need? Haiti really, if us wanted to do something to Haiti, I would say we do business with people in Haiti. You know, there are so many business-minded people but the opportunity is not there. Like maybe sponsor an entrepreneur down there. You know what I mean? Like someone that's out there already doing something, already industrious, already has ideas, but they can't get anywhere because they don't know how they're gonna feed their kid the next day, or they don't know how to do this. They don't, so sponsoring an entrepreneur. And it doesn't cost much. Right. There's so many ideas. They've learned how to do things, so incredible things with almost nothing. So imagine if they had a little bit of something. Exactly. That they can do it. And then those people, they can take care of 100 people. You know what I mean? So,
that's right.
So just helping them get on their feet, not necessarily giving charity and stuff like that. Just finding somebody, they have an idea, and helping them get there.
And check this out. People who want to visit Haiti, but sometimes say, I don't want to go down there. All this. What you think about people? Like go visiting Haiti?
I think it's great, man. Right. Haiti has. Do you realize the history in Haiti? I mean. Haiti has the largest fortress in the Western Hemisphere that was built after the revolution.
Wow.
King Christophe. I don't even think people know that Haiti had a king. King Christophe built this fort. He was kind of paranoid because he thought the French were going to come back and the French were going to come back.
Right.
But he built this huge fort on the top of a mountain. And it took 15 years to build.
Right. And then what was his name again?
Henry Christophe.
Henry Christophe. Yes, right. King Henry. Right. So when you heard about that name, you think you're talking about a white man, but it's not.
Nah, Henry from Haiti.
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, time flies when you're having good talk and good fun. Next week, welcome. I'm coming back. The third eye, getting out of the matrix. Get out of the matrix with your mind. It can take you anywhere.
Family. Tune in to Minister Ausar, Brother Sankofa coming on right after this show. Go ahead, get some water, get something to drink. We'll be back at you as soon as we get the set clear and all those type of things. Baba Ausar, very powerful show with a very I enjoyed the show. I mean, the brother was very articulate, family. So go ahead and share that video. Peace and power.
I could care less about your jewels and your necklace. My homies is in jail living reckless. Hip-hop self-creation. The mainstream don't respect it. Teach the children that it's cool to be intelligent. No economics, then the plan is irrelevant. I'm like a prophet that's heavenly sent to balance the thinking of the devilish. Our freedom fighters were the death victims of the CIA. Welcome to the USA, a place where babies having babies. The kids wondering where could their daddy be. Mom can't afford these brand name clothes. The other kids gonna laugh at me. I done seen hoop dream tragedies. Prepare for catastrophes. Formulate your own reality. Reverse the psychotic slave mentality. Young males are being sentenced in prison. Life's over before it's beginning. You don't have to be locked up to be in prison. You have free reign to choose good or evil. Don't let the lie vision mislead you. The politicians are so easy to see through. The true power lies in the people. I'ma move like a G move. Rest your temple, strengthen your mental. We all possess infinite potential. Stop the violence, don't let guns be the end of you. We blessed in so many ways, y'all. Life is beautiful.
Hotep family, it's the Flow Express checking in. I got my man Sankofa with me. You want to learn how to be economically empowered? You want to realize your dreams and turn them into reality? You want to become a major player in this real estate investing game? Come holla at the big wig, the WIG. They be like, yo, bro, Flo, what you talking about? I see potential gold mine when I walk in the house. I ain't here for your jewelry, cause I'm on my job, not to rob. That would be quite the fool of me. I'll show you where to loot at, cause I pursue that contact. Give them a contract, they like, true that. They must have knew that. From my investor crew, that's 2-pack. It wasn't about the fool with no new jack. Word to the noodle that I use, coming up with a cool rap. The mouth that moves on and to prove that. Word to the smooth black brother with the grizzly beard, showing how to stack paper like news racks. Word to the beat, we serving the streets, helping out our people in need who searching for peace. We revolutionaries in real estate, for real, cause there ain't no time to blur the line between real and fake. Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. The Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. It's the Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. The Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in the truth. Unity, we gotta move congruently. We have to invest in ourselves. Yeah, it's you and me. Winkler Investor Group, that's an asset. So sick and tired of this rat race madness. Economic literacy, put into practice. We need generational wealth. That's what the plan is. Haters with the melee, never mind what they say. Gotta be on your grind in order to get your payday. Link up with a professional team. Then it's Winkler, the founder, keeps the goal to lead. Better use your leverage if you're trying to get free. Burning desire is the only way you succeed. Set goals and be fearless, you'll see what I mean. Personal development's essential indeed. Business of helping people, you better believe. Based in Baltimore, a true gold mine indeed. Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. The Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. It's the Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. The Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in the truth. Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. The Winkler Investor Group, the WIG, see how we invest in you. It's the Winkler Investor Group, the WIG.